The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
Players Lounge, Victory Monday. Let's ride.
We up in here.
Let's ride.
We up in here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Energy has to be kept today.
Ooh. What a difference a week makes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
A week makes, and all the credit goes to the players. The Cowboys beat Minnesota 40-3.
Bodie burger.
You heard so much about how guys went to each other and hash things out amongst each other.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Man to man.
Brother to brother.
No cheap shot. Just this is what it is. They said they would fix it. Run defense. They fixed it.
Yeah.
Dak said he played better. Played better.
Yeah, I would say so.
Zeke came back, ready to go. Kellen Moore called a heck of a football game. Called a heck of a football game. Mike McCarthy, way to be a head coach. Everybody was where they needed to be. I just can't think of the last time I saw the Cowboys perform that well in all three three.
Without a doubt,
Heckma.
Yes, sir.
Training camp was scary, and Chris Beam, you can attest. We were out there, man. The kicking situation was one of the biggest worries I had rolling out of there.
Yeah.
Like I don't, and I kept saying it in a game in a league where 23% of the games are decided by 3 points or less. Right now, you can't feel good about it, and they brought back Brett Maher. You're like, this is the answer. Oh, I don't know what this man discovered, but I'm glad I had him as my fantasy kicker yesterday.
Did you have him as you?
Oh.
You got some points.
He almost beat me.
Yeah, some points then.
Bruh.
Yeah.
The man put up 20-some points.
Yeah.
A 60-yarder twice?
Wow.
Yeah. Felt so nice you had to do it twice.
Twice? I mean, you're lucky if you can make one in your career. This man has now made 4.
Yeah.
And really made 5 because he had to do it again. Sensational performance, game balls all around. If I'm the head coach, everybody get the game ball. You get them. Right. Everybody up in here. Everybody get one. That's me. Go ahead, take it.
Man, listen. All I got to say, Big Newey, is that I need people to keep the same energy. BC, all week we broke it down. Okay? We had to eat an elephant in a week, and we took just little small bites at a time, did we not?
Slice at a time.
And I said, Barry, what do we need to do with Trayvon Diggs versus Justin Jefferson? Do we need to travel him? That was a question that I had, big dog. We had discussions on the Players Lounge. We kicked our feet up, and we had to talk about this slowly, but it was so many things that went into that butt whooping that we unleashed on them. And let me tell you something, Newey. It's a good news, bad news kind of victory. I'm going to give you the bad news first.
Okay.
Bad news is we're not going to be able to keep our defensive coordinator. It's just
You done came over to
you know what? I said, I'm there. And let me tell you something.
What week is it?
No.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
It's okay.
3 days before Thanksgiving?
Now, let me say this.
Okay.
Let me say this. Let me get it out.
Okay.
Let me get it out, okay, dog? I got it.
Okay, my bad.
Chill out for a second. So, what? The bad news is Dan Quinn is showing the whole league that he is a defensive guru. The show that he put on a show yesterday. If you love defense, you saw what Dan Quinn did yesterday, lining Micah up in the wide 9, all those different alignments that he had, the way that he was disguising coverages. Kirk Cousins was in his fun house yesterday. He was seeing double, triple, all of that. But the good news is we got Micah. And he can't take Micah with him. Okay? And we got Micah. And I was sitting there looking at my television, BC, and I kept saying to myself, man, the Minnesota Vikings can't be this arrogant. They can't be. They obviously have read their own news clippings. How do you come out with a scheme where you're going to block up the bazooka on an island with Darisaw. I mean,
ain't no sense.
You got to put a tight end out there. You got to chip him. You got to do all kinds of things. Man, that was as arrogant of a scheme that I've ever seen a team come out. I mean, look, if you just believe in the media saying, "Oh, we done, we ain't this," come on now, don't you go out there and believe that. You know better. The tape show you different. I'm gonna chill out, man. I got a whole another 30 minutes of this, man. Come on, BC, go and get it. Get you some, dog.
No doubt, man. And I'm gonna go ahead and get some of that. But to me, this was the first complete game that this team has played all season long. When you talk about offensively, defensively, we already talked about Money Maher out there, 4 for 4, basically 5 for 5 because 2 from 60.
Hello.
The man had a heck of a game out there. Offensively, Dak Prescott was as efficient as you can get. I think he was, 22 or 25, maybe 23 or 25?
Only missed 3.
Man, it's remarkable what he was able to do out there. He was cool, calm, and collected, had complete control over that offense out there. Tony Pollard, once again, you had that thunder and lightning combination. You had Zeke out there tenderizing the defense, and you had Tony Pollard able to go ahead and bust those long runs. The man is looking explosive, extremely explosive. You talk about losing Quinn. I'm not so sure we're going to be able to bring Pollard back. I'm just
cash
saying.
rules everything around me. Cream.
Oh, yeah, you can. You can definitely do
coming back.
Thank you.
He's franchise
You can
tag.
franchise. You can franchise.
No, so I mean,
So he ain't going nowhere.
I tweeted that during the game. I'm like, you can't let him out of the building, and you got the franchise tag. So what Stephen Jones needs to figure out is what is the number to sign into, from a contract standpoint. But he's coming back because you're not going to franchise Schultz again.
No,
you're not doing that. So Pollard gets it, and if you really, really think about, this is almost the best franchise tag you can get when you start talking about players, because it's going to be one of the cheaper numbers. Running backs are making crazy money. So this is almost in a way like paying Schultz. So it's not going to be crazy. It's not Tank Lawrence $20 million pass rusher type money, and quarterback money they had to pay for Dak. So Pollard is not going anywhere.
Yeah, and I don't see Pollard having that holdout type mentality. I don't see him having that. But you never know. When cash starts talking, you never know.
Agent getting your ear.
You never know. Money does talk. So on the defensive side of the football, though, like you said, this was a masterpiece. I don't know if Kirk Cousins owed the offensive lineman money or whatever the case may be, but they weren't blocking a soul out there. It was more like the lookout block. Hey, Kirk, you better look out because they coming. All right. Yeah. It was a masterpiece of how he was able to do it. Duck back there.
My bad.
Oh, my goodness. And like you said, how do you leave Parsons one-on-one? The first third down of the whole game, one-on-one, beats him, sack, force fumble. That turned the entire game around. And the way he was able to put matchups where he wanted to. The curse sack was just masterful right there. He acted like he was man-to-man on Hockenson. The lineman obviously didn't understand what was going on, split the C's. The man got right in there and got the sack. So to me, this was a total performance all the way around. Hats goes off, coaches, players, everybody. Brett Maher to me gets the game ball, 4 for 4, 2 from 60. Basically, the man balled out of control. But, this was a complete victory in my opinion.
Producer Chris Beam letting me know that the franchise tag, according to overthecap.com, for running backs is $12.6 million. That's
Gladly.
So you
happily.
12-6 plus what's Zeke hitting at?
I think it was
19?
19? Was he out in that? And I may be wrong.
That's a lot of bread in that running back room. That's a lot of bread.
He's going to have to come off with some of that bread,
You don't have to restructure him a little bit?
Yeah, willingly. Yeah.
What if it ain't willingly?
We got a whole nother conversation to talk about. That's a whole nother thing, and we don't have to do that.
You know me, though. I'm going ahead and stir that thing up.
Here's the real simple thing, okay? As much as you I love the Jerry Maguire lines, not show friends or show business. At the end of the day, they're not paying running backs a lot of money, and as much as you love Ezekiel the player, he can't go out and get $19 million anywhere.
Yeah. Let me say this, though, and I said this before on the show. We are seeing the re-evolution of the running back position in the NFL. And if you look around, teams that are starting to get smart are starting to run the ball. They are starting to say, look, we're not going to sit back here and throw the ball 40, 50 times. We're going to put the ball in the belly of our running backs, and we're going to run the ball 30 times, and we can have some success because these three techniques, they are not built for the damage that a running game can do to you. And you're starting to see that mind state play dividends in the NFL. Oh, don't look now. The Patriots are 73,
6-4.
6-4. It's some teams out here having some success. Brian Daboll, he's having success because he's doing what? Running the ball. Oh, don't look now. The Tennessee Titans are going to be successful because they have a dude that can run the ball. Okay.
Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos. Heckma Harrison, Barry Church, I'm Newey Scruggs, Danny McCray with the day off. Look, Heck, I'm with you 100% in terms of running the football. This show has always been about running the football. The issue starts to become now is how much are you going to pay for running backs, considering where you're going to have to go with Tony Pollard. He cannot leave the building. I mean,
he's too important.
He cannot leave the building.
Period.
And when you talk about $12.6 million on a franchise tag and $19 million to the other, that's too much money in the room. Yeah. And if they were balking at paying $20 million to Amari Cooper, there's going to have to be a reduction in the price tag. Now, here comes the thing about in terms of the reduction. Is there a reduction and then a lengthening of the contract? You know, you're right. You could say, all right, we're going to bring this thing down, but we'll give you some more years. I mean, that's something they could do.
When they do that with D-Law, I might be mistaken, but
yes,
okay.
Yes. Right. So this is something you could do, or you could just simply say you could walk away. And at the same time, this is dependent upon Will McClay, who's done an outstanding job through the years of finding running backs. Yeah. I mean, for a while, they were the kings of finding Julius Jones in round 2, Marion Barber in round 4, Tony Pollard in round 4, DeMarco Murray in round 3. So they can do this. Mm-hmm. They're going to be in a position because, oh, by the way, remember that time you been Danny teasing about that second contract for Mr. Diggs? Remember that time you were teasing about that?
We gave you props, though.
Right. What happened yesterday is not being talked about enough.
Oh, no.
Justin Jefferson had a grand total of 5 targets and 3 catches.
Them cuffs.
Kurt was like, I ain't going over there. Them cuffs. Man. Kurt, I ain't going there.
Them cuffs.
TJ Hawkinson with nine targets.
That's another dude that's stealing money, but go ahead.
I mean,
it's facts, though. That's facts.
Don't get me started on that.
Nah, man.
No, don't get me. I mean, I have long since not understood how you can be so mediocre and a team willingly write you checks for being this mediocre when the last head coach was so mad at it. Zimmer hated the guy. Mike Zimmer hated him.
Hold on, you talking about Hawkinson or Cousins?
Kirk Cousins.
Okay, you talking about Cousins. Okay.
Kirk Cousins. Now,
well, that's what we stealing money now. It's a lot of people robbing the bank.
Put everything in the bag.
No mask. He got no mask on. He coming in broad daylight.
Just walking up. Yeah, just throw it up.
That's the real Debo.
Like, I'm back.
Yeah. Give it up smooth.
Repeat offender, Kirk Cousins, but they just keep willingly do it. But Zimmer hated him. And so you know what they did? They fired Zimmer. And who did they hire? They hired a guy, and Kevin O'Connell, who worked with him in Washington, like, oh, you can get him going.
Yeah.
No.
But let me you can't get him going. And you know, that's their prop dog we talked about before, man. And we might have a little bit of that out of Minnesota. But before this game, man, it was so big and bad and so tough. There was a guy named Dalvin Cook that came to the stadium yesterday also that everybody was expecting to have 150, 200 yards. And this Cowboy defense that was giving up goo gobs on the ground. And every goo gobs, you understand? Buku yards on the ground. That's how you beat them. That same Dan Quinn that we talking about right now that had him in the fun house. Oh, man, Dan Quinn had put these defenses together. They can't stop the run. What happened to him yesterday? The attention to detail that you talk about all the time, the things that show up on tape, they went back in there and they changed that. Now, to me, that's a sign of a team that's maturing. They're a young team. But when you can correct your mistakes like that, that's in-season development. Yeah. Because we saw the way that Chicago was gashing them, saw the way that Green Bay was gashing them. They didn't give up those types of runs yesterday.
And they became a much more physical team. I don't know what they did during the week, but if you look at it, how many times did it look like Dalvin Cook hit a wall and it just went backwards? I mean, LVE played well, and I tell you what, the young man, Damone Clark.
Talk about it.
The man, he can be special now. He can be special. Now, only a small sample size. We understand that, small sample. But the man's physical out there. The way he was shedding blocks, the way he was getting downhill, that's a grown man right there. So I want to see what he can do further along in the season, but he can be special, man.
Talent acquisition that the Cowboys have gotten through their draft in free agency is I don't think it's talked about enough. Mm-hmm. It's really not talked about enough. But you know, there's another player, and you start thinking about too. What we talked about, you're going to have more people you have to pay. Yeah. Now, when you're paying a Tony Pollard, that means that you need a Clark that has to. You need younger players who fill in. You need Tyler Smith. By the way, we'll get to the offensive line.
Talk about him.
But you need those guys, those young guys coming in at low contracts to perform at a high level.
And Damone Clark is a what round pick?
Six. I forgot.
Six.
I forgot. It was.
Six.
It was like
but to your point though.
Day 3.
To your point, you're developing the bottom of your draft and guys that are coming out and develop and play like that can contribute during the season. Like, man, you don't have that across the board in the NFL right now, man.
Have we seen the end of Jabril Cox, man?
No,
Boom.
I don't think so.
You don't think?
I don't think so. I just no. Yeah.
Is that wishful thinking? Or are you saying that you've seen something that you believe that this young man has a chance to because this is gonna be LVE's spot if we talking about him as a linebacker.
I don't believe LVE's back. I don't believe it.
I go back to Tom Landry had believed in this, and then I remember Parcells talking about it as well. It's like, year 3, and last year wasn't really a year 1. So let's see the young man have 3 years on the football field, and you're still under contract, and then make yourself a call. But I just wouldn't do it, not yet. No. I still think you still have an opportunity. If you had to, like, hey, we got to give this guy somebody else has got to take a spot right now. I don't think so. Barr, LVE, these are guys who are going to be free agents. Yeah. After the season, and once again, we're talking about a lot of dudes are going to be free agents. You're going to have to find dollars someplace. So Cox is a guy you may, by necessity, say, we need to keep him and develop him because we need to have some young talent making low dollars here as we try to pay other people. Okay. I mean, you got a starting corner you got to take care of, and Anthony Brown.
You think they bring him AB back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
He ain't gonna want pennies though.
True, but I would. You should
don't
want
say
to.
it. Don't say it.
No, that's you got it. I'm not a part of this.
That's what he gonna say when they come with that contract. Man, y'all getting it.
We'll be right back to talk about the offensive line right here on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos on DallasCowboys.com radio.
With Smoothie King's original Angel Food and new Angel Food Slim without added sugar, you no longer have to choose between treating yourself and hitting your goals this summer. You don't have to choose between great taste and feeling great. Because at Smoothie King, every blend is made with whole fruits and no syrups, so you can satisfy your cravings without compromise. The only choice you will need to make is which one is best for you. Try our classic Angel Food or the new Angel Food Slim, blended without added sugar. Smoothie King. Rule the day.
Attention Cowboys fans looking for the best shave of your life. There's a new official razor of the Dallas Cowboys, Shave Logic. Imagine not having to buy blades as often and getting more smooth shaves than your old razor, guaranteed or your money back. After more than 10 years of research and over 150 company patents, ShaveLogic is proud to offer Cowboys fans a special offer. For a limited time, visit ShaveLogic.com and get a free $10 gift card with your purchase. Go to ShaveLogic.com now for more smooth shaves guaranteed.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Thanksgiving week is finally here. Get ready for the annual Dallas Cowboys showdown with game day essentials from tailgating to cold weather gear. We have you covered. Stop by the local Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop or log on to shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience, and do Turkey Day the Cowboy way.
Thanksgiving, right around the corner.
Can't
Cowboys
wait.
with a quick turnaround. They have locker room at 4:45 today. I'll be out there. Coach Mike McCarthy will give his press conference at 3 o'clock. You can watch it right here on DallasCowboys.com radio. He is Heckma Harrison. That's Barry Church, former Dallas Cowboys safety. I'm Newey Scruggs. This is Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos. The offensive line yesterday in Minnesota was such a key part of what they did. And Minnesota's offensive line was so bad, I don't think we looked at enough to say how great and what the Cowboys did in that 40-3 victory here. You got some guys here who are really starting to figure out what to do. Joe Philbin, the offensive line coach, give the man his props because there have been a lot of people who've given him who gave him some grief his first
Talk
year.
about it.
And Jason Peters playing some left tackle yesterday in the game, in case you noticed that, where they kicked in the rookie Tyler Smith, the left guard. Makes you start to wonder.
Don't start this, man.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Oh my goodness.
It's already there. They played the hand yesterday.
Thank you.
When I saw it yesterday, BC, you know what I said? Tell me what you're thinking without opening your mouth and telling me what you're thinking. They bumped him down. I was like, okay, that's what we got to get you. We got to get your reps in here, young man. Look, man, that's loyalty. That's just loyalty you're seeing right there.
Is it all right? Now I also say this: is it? Let me get my 5 best players on the football field. My 5 best linemen.
I don't see why they need to do that when this offensive lineman has been the way they have it set up right now. This unit has gelled and they're playing great football together. I don't understand why this whole thing about let's throw our 5 best offensive linemen out there. I don't get it. Keep it with the way it is. I don't understand.
It's that continuity. And I know exactly what you're talking about. We've been begging for that for years after so many years of not being able to do that. You get Tyron Smith back. It's just how you feel about him. He already has the tape out there. He's a guy that you know what he's going to bring you. When we talk with Nate, what Nate say? We got our swing tackle getting healthy right now. And I'm not opposed to that, but I want to go back to what you were saying, man. It was a lot of people talking about Philbin and getting fired and all these things. And all he's done is coach this offensive line. Yesterday, they were out there mauling people. Hey, Tyler Smith is a cement truck. The kid, that's all to our scouting department and the job that they do and the guys that they pick out. Man, this is you couldn't have had a story start to form and be better than our offensive line because it looked like it was gloom and doom at the beginning of the season. But I gotta say this. The Minnesota Vikings on defense, what were you thinking?
Yeah, they were tripping.
I mean, what? You mean to tell me you're not going to bring another man down in the box?
You're just going to let it ride.
You just going to let it ride?
With the 2 high safeties?
With the 2 high, come on, wait a minute. That's another arrogant. You are arrogant. Yeah. And sometimes when I look at these coaches in the NFL, I'm like, man, wait a minute, man.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Obviously, they're running it down your throat. You need to bring another guy in the box. Walk Harrison Smith down there.
Somebody.
The rookie down
Anybody.
There. No, we're going to stay too high. We're going to stay too high. All right, they're going to run you out the gym.
What did Dak do? Dak? Oh.
Kill.
Oh.
What are we doing?
Got him.
But if that offensive line is doing that, why change it?
Yeah.
These lanes are 5 yards wide.
You have a great point when you talk about the offensive line. I mean, Connor McGovern, we've been begging for Connor McGovern to start to play to get to the second level. You see him and Biotish on the double team block. I'm talking about drive that guy. That's the kind of stuff you need to start to see, and especially going into these November and December. Man, it's championship football time. And you want it, you got it.
And they weren't scrubs. You talking about Zadarius Smith, 9.5 sacks. Danielle Hunter over there.
Did you even hear Danielle Hunter's name yesterday? Did anybody say anything? Kendricks, a guy I talk about all the respect that I have, man. Come on, they left a linebacker man-to-man on Tony Pollard on a wheel route.
This man ain't the
you
fastest.
are asking for it.
That was wrong.
That was just
that
bad.
was wrong.
But the ball from Dak, though.
Man, if I'm Minnesota, man, there's a couple plays I'm real mad at the coaches. Kirk Cousins, why you all let me get a kill out here? Got back problems result from this. Got my man on the wheel, right? Why you put me out here with this? I'm on TV.
My mama watching.
That man was tripping. I'm on TV. Come back.
That was ugly, man.
I mean,
it's ugly.
These coaches not put you. Tell you, man, I be mad at these coaches, boy. I be mad at these coaches. Look at me on TV.
You see me out here? Look what you got me looking like.
Man.
Offensive line talking about, look out, Kurt. They coming.
Kill. We coming at him. I mean, my gosh, man, these coaches, man. I mean,
rough.
Micah Park, play one, but Here he comes.
There he is.
They like Lawrence Taylor. Kurt was shook from there. He was shook.
It was over with.
He was shook from there.
Seeing ghosts.
It just we right out the gate.
Christian Darrisaw, and they had reported that he had a concussion the week before and left the game with concussion symptoms.
Yeah, man.
That's like, man, come on, man.
So once again, what the coach is doing, man.
What are you doing? And you lining up, and for me, the cherry on top was when Micah went in that A-gap blitz. I was like, oh, God.
It's a wrap?
Oh, it's a wrap. We could go home.
So can we officially, say he belongs on the D-line? Like this back and forth linebacker, DN. Can we say, like, man, look, this defense, and he performs at best when he's hunting the quarterback?
Yeah, I'll just put it this way. Trust in DQ. He's going to look at the matchup and tell you what to do. Before this game, and I can't remember which podcast, maybe it was The Break, but they had spoken about, hey, look, this offensive line is not going to be a line that can hold up if you have to pass a lot. Clearly the Cowboys had the advantage here. And so I think I go back, DQ knows what to do.
I just don't see the benefit of putting him on the second level.
I'm on the same page. I'm on the same page with you, dog. Leave him at the end
let him hunt.
And let him hunt. Quit playing with it. Put Damone Clark in the A-gap blitz. Let him come up and do that. It didn't matter. What I saw yesterday was they put they put the bazooka in the wide 9. Oh, Jesus. Do you know how much speed that is coming from that far away? And what kind of lanes he's creating with the rest of the defensive line in a one-on-one matchup?
Dorrance Armstrong, what do you got, 7 sacks?
Hello?
7 sacks?
Hello? Talk to me, man.
Don't you mean Randy Gregory?
No, I'm talking about DA.
I'll give you that one,
yeah,
because you called it from the beginning.
You
called it from the beginning. You did
Fame
say that. You did say that.
The next Harvey Martin.
I'll give you that one. You did call that out. You called that. Man. You called that.
So when you see, here's Darrisaw, when you clearly know, like, okay, man, this guy can't handle him, then yeah, you can drop him down there. But most of all, I just believe in what if Dan Quinn says, you know what, we're going to put him. I'm going to let Dan Quinn do what he wants to do. And then when Dan Quinn leaves, Joe Witt should get the job. By the way, Joe Witt. Okay, there's your guy. There's your guy. Because he's been running the defense, knows what to do. Joe's that guy. And also you talk about how they are back there scheming up defensively with these DBs. That's them. So that's your guy. I'm just going to trust him because he's earned it. What's trust required?
Time consistency improved.
And in 2 years, Dan Quinn, Micah Parsons, wherever he feels Micah needs to be, I think he's been correct.
No, come on. When you have a guy like that, you don't need many marbles in your head to say, look, wherever I put 11, somebody's in trouble. And if you are inside of it, if you are Dorrance Armstrong and you have a one-on-one matchup, you should be able to win that. Sam Williams, everybody. Come, bruh. The problem this is the good thing about having Micah. It forces everybody to win a one-on-one matchup. Hell, the Vikings didn't even go 12 yesterday. I would have went 13 yesterday.
That's it.
We'd have been at 13.
I ain't dropping back. I ain't dropping back no more.
What you talking about, man?
Poor Kirk Cousins. Poor Kirk Cousins.
Kirk didn't sleep last night.
That was bad news, man.
Of course he did, man. I mean, that dude, he'd go take that icy hot commercial from Shaq. I mean, that dude was just beat up. 7 sacks in the game, man.
He got ugly.
Hey, what I said on the text? Somebody that love him better hand him a baseball hat.
Because that was bad.
You better if you love Kirk Cousins, hand him a baseball hat and give him a clipboard and let him sit down.
So Church, I haven't played. What is the feeling like in the huddle when everybody's getting a taste like that?
Oh,
I mean, you tell these call him something for me. I need something. Is it,
If you getting a part of that taste, it's magical. Because everybody's, oh, man, you got that. You got that. Man, everybody's balling out of control. You just don't want to be that guy that hasn't made a play yet. You just like, man, let me switch with you on this play. Let me switch with you on that play. But the emotions are running high. Everybody's high-fiving each other. Everybody's getting a piece of this action. And then if you haven't made a play yet, you trying to switch up. Let me get that blitz. You got people switching positions out there. It's fun, man. That's when the game becomes fun. You saw Curse out there after his sack, hit him with the skull.
Yeah.
Skull. I mean, people are having a good time out there.
I'm telling you,
man.
That's when it's like, man, here it is. Go. I need my. You got one. I need to get some. I need to get one.
Need to get that too, right?
Trying to get my Pro Bowl numbers up.
Yeah, man.
That's
Trying to make the Pro Bowl.
The Vikings
it's on national
was out there
TV.
setting it
Trying
out
to get that.
You see, Fowler was out there doing everything. Let me get in these numbers too, baby.
You don't want to miss that. And you see somebody about to get a sack, just jump on the pile. Maybe they can get you an assist. You know,
Cats be mad about that, though.
Oh,
you gonna get a half a sack? No, man. No, you took my full sack away, man. I'm telling you.
Get that leg fall on. I touched him.
Hey, and look, man, it don't matter what level you play on, man. When your defense is balling like that, it is fun for everybody that's involved, dog. Yesterday, this defense, they talked about the plane ride from Green Bay. That plane ride from Minnesota had to have been fun.
Oh, it was lit.
Hey, look, they earned it. You know, they earned it, both of them. You earned that bad trip home because you didn't do your job. You earned this trip here because you fixed everything you said you would do, and you got it right. Now it's the turnaround as you get ready for the New York Football Giants, who lost yesterday and lost some players as well. Let's dive into what it takes to get your body ready on a Thanksgiving Day game. That's where Barry Church will get to us next with Heckma Harris and Newey Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
With Smoothie King's original Angel Food and new Angel Food Slim without added sugar, you no longer have to choose between treating yourself and hitting your goals this summer. You don't have to choose between great taste and feeling great. Because at Smoothie King, every blend is made with whole fruits and no syrups, so you can satisfy your cravings without compromise. The only choice you will need to make is which one is best for you. Try our classic Angel Food or the new Angel Food Slim, blended without added sugar. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Live music fans, head to the Star in Frisco on Tuesday, November 29th for the brand new monthly concert series, Sounds of the Star, featuring the inimitable country rock band Western Rewind. The concert kicks off at 7 p.m. and is free and open to the public. For more information, visit thestarinfrisco.com.
All right, Heckma Harrison, thank you very much.
Country rock.
Barry Church, I'm Newey Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge. So, Cowboys get a 42-3 dominant win in Minnesota. That's yesterday. Today's Monday. It's not your normal Monday because the Cowboys are playing on Thanksgiving Day. Barry, you've played in this Thanksgiving Day a lot of times here. I thought maybe the league would do the Cowboys a solid and have them play at home as they get ready for Thanksgiving. But that's not the case. They are coming off the road. The Lions were in the Meadowlands to play New York, and so it's just very interesting to see how they did that. But you tell me, what is it like on a Monday? How do you get your body ready to bounce back for this game, a divisional game against the team that's got the same record that you already beat?
It sucks. I'm not going to lie to you. Thursday games suck because you're in it at this point in the year. It ain't like it's week 1, week 2, week 3. You're all the way in week, what are we, 12 now? 11, 12? So your body's already beat up from the games you have already played out there. You coming from an away game, a high-intensity game that you had gotten ready for. Emotions were going crazy. So you probably landed late last night. You got to turn around, get up. They're going to do a quick film session. Nothing too drastic like you're used to, going in there, breaking everything down. They might just pick a few plays here and there to watch before you got to get ready for New York. But body-wise, it sucks because you don't really start getting healthy. You don't really start feeling like yourself until Thursday. Like on a regular season, you don't feel ready until Thursday. So you got to actually play Thursday. So this week, it's going to be a lot of just, walkthroughs, a lot of non-padded practices out there to try to conserve the body as much as possible. But it sucks. And those Thursday games, you're living off of pure adrenaline. Like that's the only thing you can go off of is just heart and adrenaline because your body's going to be suffering, especially those offensive linemen out there banging all the time. So your body's going to go through it, but it's all about heart and all about adrenaline when you go out there on them Thursdays. And to be honest, man, it sucks.
And B, what is the difference now when you look at the way, like when you played, you guys would have that Thanksgiving game, and then you double down on another Thursday game, right? You backdoor the same thing. So you really didn't get a break in between that process of getting your body ready. Now, the Cowboys don't play again until Sunday. So is that even in your mind? Like, okay, we can get through this game Thursday. Then I give myself an opportunity to break.
And that's the mindset. You got it. Once you get through this game, like it's gonna suck leading up to the game and playing in the game. It'll be all adrenaline. Your heart's gonna be pumping, so you ain't really gonna feel much. But after the game, you're gonna be hurting. But you just gotta know. All right, now we got a long break. I think you get like 10 days until your next game, so you get to rest your body, relax, kind of recharge. I wouldn't do nothing crazy after the game. I just recharge and relax, especially your older players out there. But for the most part, that Sunday to Thursday, it's going to suck. But now having that long break, once you get through there, the mindset is, all right, let me recharge now. Let me woosah and get back to where I was and start this thing off again. But them Sunday to Thursday, man.
So how do the veterans run a week like this in terms of talking to young guys about what to do? That, hey, tonight – you don't need to go out to the club. How do you all police that in the room to make sure everybody's ready to go?
Well, it was me. What my mindset was kind of lead by example. I let these guys know, like, you don't need to be out in the streets like that because all you're doing is dehydrating your body. Your body's already probably dehydrated from the game, so you don't need to be out there doing all that other stuff. Drink a lot of fluids, stretch a lot. That was big for me because after the games, man, if you don't stretch much, I used to cramp up a lot, and you would go in the games all cramped up and your muscle spasm, and you don't want any parts of that. So stretch a lot, keep the fluids going, kind of lead by example. Let these guys understand, like, this is how we're going to go through walkthrough. Just because they say it's a walkthrough and you don't have pads on doesn't mean it's a joke around session. You got to keep serious. You got to keep focused because that's where you're going to see your looks at. It ain't like you're going to get fast-paced, looks like you should in the regular season with pads on and all that stuff. You're going to be walking through these looks. So it's going to be more about your mindset and looking at the plays and breaking them down that way instead of physically going out there and doing them. But you got to lead by example, and this team is loaded with superb leadership out there.
Heck.
I mean, I'm taking this from BC. BC, anyone had to do this Thursday to Thursday stretch. Hell, it's got to be hell on
Thirsty
you.
Thursdays,
to do it like that. For me, all I'm thinking about is just the fact that you cannot lit up. You can't lit up. Mm-mm. We came, and and this is an assumption on my part that we went into the Green Bay game a little too confident. All right, and we got in there and we lit our guards down versus teams that we should have beat. All right, you're disappointed by that. What happened? You're damn near embarrassed by it because of how many teams had a 2-point score. Well, 14 points to never lose in Cowboy history, and you gave that up 195 and won because of you. And then you come back the next week and you just put your foot on the Vikings' neck. You cannot lit up going into New York because this is a divisional opponent. This is the same thing that we know about the Philadelphia Eagles, about anybody else, the Commanders. You throw the records out the window. This is Thanksgiving. This is Cowboys football. This is Giants coming into town, and they would love nothing other than to embarrass you on Thanksgiving, because then the same narrative that just changed from Dak being the weak link and all of that, all those haters, they grow courage again, and they come right back out, and they tell you about what you don't have and who made this move and who did that and who you don't have. Look, I like my guys, and that's what I'm saying. Thursday we get to boot up with them again and see Saquon. Look, Cooper Rush He won the last time he was in New York. So I would assume that Dak should go in here. Hey, man, this should be the ice capade.
Handle the business.
Giants cornerback Adoree Jackson's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks with an MCL sprain.
That's big.
Okay,
He was their best corner, too.
So he's going to be gone. Their wide receiver, Wan'Dale Robinson, has a torn ACL, so he's out the rest of the year.
Is that number 17, by the way?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, well, he was explosive.
And they let go of Kadarius.
Ooh. So, yes, and Odell Beckham Jr. will not be available for the Giants if he decides to sign there this week. Jerry said they're going to have a conversation there. So the Giants coming in here and on a quick turnaround that you're losing some players here. I don't know if the word must is usable here, but this is a game you need to have. You're at home. Okay, there's no excuse for you not winning this Thanksgiving Day game at home. You have the advantage. You've played well against Minnesota. Back this up and then put to rest this team in your division by getting yourself to sweep over these guys. Do your part there.
No, this is a huge game. Like you said, it's the division game. Right now, those guys are battling for second place. And a victory here against the Giants, like you said, it would put them away, but it also keeps you within striking distance of the Philadelphia Eagles because they're what, 9-1 right now?
Yeah.
So if you get a dub right
8-1,
or 9-1, you'll be 8-3 if you get a dub here. It keeps you within striking distance because you know you got to play them later on in the season. So this is a huge game for the Cowboys. New York is hurting right now. Quick turnaround. So hopefully they should be able to take advantage of this Giants team.
No, and everything you just said, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I just want the same energy that we went into to Minnesota with. That's the part that I think that confuses the haters is when they see you go to Minnesota and play like you played, which was damn near perfect. Aside from the penalties, those are things that you can clean up, but this passing game worked to efficiency. And going back to Tony Pollard, it's something an argument that I've been making because so many people have made these overarching opinion about Deebo Samuels. I said it that he is the closest comp to that because he is, to me, better as a receiver than he is as a running back, and you saw that yesterday. And we have to continue to have that in the fold of our game planning, also with our tight ends. And the rest of this stuff, what you saw from Michael Gallup, who came on strong, I've said it, he hadn't looked like himself, but yesterday he caught some balls across the middle, took some contact, and did some things that we've needed to see our wide receivers do. And Jalen Tolbert got in the game, my favorite dude.
He got a catch, right?
Got a catch. Was onside. Come on, man.
Onside,
and Jalen Tolbert.
He was onside. How about that?
Had a whole uniform on yesterday.
So balling.
He ain't had that towel this time.
No, man.
Balling. So give me your comp for Tony Pollard.
I just did. Deebo Samuels.
So that's the
and he does, and I believe he has a little bit something different than Deebo has because Deebo, for his size, runs way too big, and if he wants to stay in the league, he needs to turn that back a little bit.
Can I give you a one? And it's going back a little bit. I think of Eric Metcalf and how dominant Eric Metcalf, and this was in an old NFL where I don't think they gave him enough touches.
He had special teams. He was a returner too. That's what made. I know what you're talking about, but I like that.
But I just think of now, in that old school NFL, they limit. Today's NFL, you would put Eric Metcalf in a whole lot of. You throw him in the backfield. The weapons now that because he was a smaller guy, but now you're not afraid. We saw Darren Sproles like, hey, and Sean Payton like, we're gonna roll him on out here in the Chargers. I just think of those kind of weapons like that. And Tony played special teams for a while here. Then they got smart, decided, let's get him off there. But I just think of him as just such a fantastic weapon. I remember Parcells had a guy, Dave Meggett. And
Meggett was so dope.
Dave Meggett.
So good.
He's a beast. Yeah. Patriots, right?
Patriots and Giants.
Yeah. Giants and Patriots. And actually, when he left the Giants, it was a bidding war between Belichick in Cleveland and then Parcells with the Patriots. And obviously, Parcells won out. But Belichick had Eric Metcalf. But could you imagine special teams and you try to figure out whether you're going to kick it to Metcalf or Meggett? But these kind of guys that are really good. And whether they bring Ezekiel Elliott back or not, they're going to need to add another running back.
Yeah.
The Davis kid is a nice player. I like what I've seen from him, and I thought maybe he should have gotten the game a little bit earlier yesterday when things got out of control. But that's something that we know Will McClay can go handle.
What did you think about the run differential between them, 15 and 15? It almost seemed poetic, like perfect for both of those guys to get the same amount of carries.
Kellen Moore called a sensational game.
Yep.
That's just that. I mean, if you want to say a blueprint, now this is the blueprint that you would love to see from the Cowboys the rest of the way. You'd love to see this Thursday. If they could do this on Thursday, I think everybody would be very happy. Let your offensive line, push the pile, utilize both of these backs, throw it when you need to. Hope you can sack Danny Dimes sometimes, but
we're gonna after him.
Stop the run. I mean, there's so much that you would just, hey guys, how do we bottle this thing back up here and go do this one more time? Because that's the essence in terms of really in anything. Can you do it again? No, you can do it one time.
Yes,
right. You could do it one time, but the great ones do it again.
Yeah.
And that's what you have. Can you do it one more time? And that's how you stack up these victories. And that's what separates. As much as I hated the Pittsburgh Steelers growing up, because I cheered for the Cowboys, there was just something about when the stages mattered the most, the Pittsburgh Steelers played to that level. There's a great line that John Facenda had in NFL Films. He says, great teams don't always play great. They play great when they have to. And that was the essence of the 1970s Pittsburgh Steelers. They just played great when they had to. And there was when you had to turn it on. One reason why I go back to when I said I picked the Cowboys to beat the Vikings is I just thought there was going to be a pride. I know I was running all in circles, and you're like, man, you going to pick them after all that you did? Yeah, I just thought there was enough pride in the room that says, you know what? Nah, man, we can't lose a 14-point lead and just come out here and not do it. So I picked them to win. Now, after the show, I'm going to go get Calvin Watkins and David Gelkin, the Morning News some grief because they picked Minnesota.
I hate to see it.
Yeah, David Moore picked the Cowboys. So I'm like, guys, this is one of those games. And I didn't play like you guys, I didn't play like you in college ball or pro, but I've just talked to enough people. There is a sense of pride when guys are just truly embarrassed. Like, you know what, man? Okay, that can't happen. Yeah. And that was one of those games. Not only you blew a 14-point lead, your coach go back home, you embarrassed him, and 10 of the staff you let folks down, man.
They took it personal.
Right, you let folks down. This is not who we are, and they addressed it, and they went forward.
That's how if you get embarrassed, that's how you bounce back. That's how you rectify your mistake. Yeah. That's why when I was saying to you in the open, man, that look, we saw what they did last week. All of those runs that we were talking about, those zone runs to the outside, guys making business decisions. We saw them guys coming up with reckless abandon in this game. And we said that stopping the run is an attitude. It's a want to. It's got to be in you, not on you. And there was a lot of people had it in them. So
and they had that conversation amongst themselves in the locker. That's something I'm going to go try and track down today in the locker.
Who?
Me.
I'm saying, who you tracking down?
Who you tracking down?
It's to see who's in there.
Okay.
It's a Monday. I don't know who will be in there because it's a different. It's a different day. Some guys may need treatment, but may not come in there. So we're only going to get them 2 days. So we'll get them today or tomorrow. So we'll see. But I definitely want to ask some guys about just how much was this a statement game of just, hey man, Pacino said, guy that'll go that inch.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
Look across. You're going to see a guy willing to go that inch.
Here we go.
The inches we need for our display in Minnesota. We need inches against the Giants.
Oh, my God.
You look across. You're going to see Barry Church. Heck, man, you're going to see a guy that'll go that inch.
That'll claw.
That'll claw.
Fight for that inch. We claw. We scratch for that inch.
Oh, my
I told you the great thing about that movie was that scene is filmed at Texas Stadium.
How about that?
Yeah, they was in there.
It was in the visitors' locker room, and they kept it that way too. They kept it that when you went into the Oliver Stone filmed that scene, that movie, but right there at Texas Stadium, and then they left the paint scheme up there, and they never changed it until they ended up getting torn down. But that was where Any Given Sunday when he did his speech.
My favorite movie. Favorite sports movie. Favorite sports.
Now, what are you gonna do?
Don't drop me. I'm worth $1 million.
Heckma Harris. Barry Church. Anyway, Scruggs. Shout out to Steamin' Willie Beeman, who made it out to training camp, too. Willie Beeman made it out to training camp. The great Jamie Foxx. This has been the Players Lounge. We will do it again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central Time, right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!